Morning, everyone. How's it going?
How these first couple practices gone? Seems pretty usual, smooth as usual. Just a little bit more walkie-talkie and stuff.
Yeah, calling the plays to the quarterbacks, but that's stepping up where I need to. But everything's been smooth. Our guys have come out and had the right mindset, and our tempo has been awesome, and practices have been really good. Just got to keep going, one day at a time.
How has Brock seemed to respond he's obviously heard play calls from you before. How has he been through the first couple days?
Great. Yeah, I haven't had any issues. I've have experience in camp of calling plays and move the ball periods, and obviously in preseason, it's a long time between then and the season. But they get used to it pretty quick, and then Kyle will be back out there at some point, and they'll get used to him. So it's all going good.
You added a lot of speed at receiver and at running back. Is the hope to try to create more space and put more pressure on the defense? What was the kind of the mindset of the offseason?
Yeah, always trying to add more speed and more explosiveness to our offense every year. And, if we were lacking in that last year, there's a lot of reasons why, but I think we definitely fell off in terms of our explosiveness as an offense, our yards after contact. So we're trying to add players that add value in that area. But those things are products of playing the right way, of running the football better, of getting more opportunities in the pass game. When you run the ball better, there's more opportunities for play action explosives. It's all sorts of things. It's a collective effort, and so we got the right guys out there that are working, and just got to keep getting better.
It's early, but it seems like Mike Evans' presence alone in the wide receivers room has kind of upped the competition. There's new guys in there.
Absolutely. Mike being in there is one thing. He's a vet. He's a pro. He knows how to work. He knows how to compete every day and get better. But in my opinion, that whole room it's just taken a big step from last year to this year. There's continuity. There's guys who maybe missed time last year between Jordan and Jake in camp, but they're out there every day. They're getting better, and I just seen a lot of growth across the board. And those guys come out every day with the right mindset. They're on their assignments. They're working. They're competing, and it's going to be fun to watch that room kind of become what it does over this next however many weeks of training camp. And it's one of the positions where we have a lot of competition, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
You guys had a lot of injuries at that position last summer. I think only a couple guys kind of escaped the summer unscathed. Is the kind of new practice schedule, the jog through yesterday, part of an effort to keep everyone, the wide receivers, a little bit more fresh, healthy throughout the summer?
Yeah, it's definitely not just about the receivers. We're never going to make an adjustment to benefit one position group. It was a team thing, and just studying, talking to different people around the league and looking at different ways people do camp. We just thought it was a smart adjustment for us to not be going 3 days in a row of practice. And the other benefit of that was that everybody gets to practice every day. We have days when we were doing our traditional 3-day block where a lot of vets would be missing that third day to just kind of take the workload off of them. But the way we're doing it now is everyone's out there every day, and we don't have to compensate for a lower number in a practice, which is where sometimes you might get an injury. When you're low on receivers one day or low on linemen or something, guys have to take more reps. So we're trying to avoid that as best we can by adding that jog through day. And yesterday was good. It was our first one, and hopefully we get the results we want moving forward.
Dribbling and Galen Black and what you've seen from them in the past few days.
Yeah, good work by both of those guys these first 2 days. Long way to go. They're rookies, and they got a long way to go to grow. The volume of the playbook is going to keep going up, and they got to stay with it. But you can't ask for anything more in terms of what they've done so far. They are very sharp young men in terms of being on the details of their playbook. They practice extremely hard. They're very coachable, and that's all you can ask from those guys. And they got to keep stacking days and getting better.
Dribbling in, Jordan Watkins went to Nashville to work with Brock and Mac. Can you see a little difference in their level coming into training camp?
Which guys did you say?
Jordan Watkins and Dejon Stribling.
Well, Jordan, yeah. Jordan's taken a step. He went through a rookie year with ups and downs of injuries, and he's been a lot more consistent. And you'd like to see that. He was like that in the offseason. He looks that way now. I think the work with Brock over the summer for all those guys was huge. Not just from the football, but just the camaraderie and just being together and working together. That's always an added benefit for those guys. And Strib as well. I think Strib was there, and Strib was here a lot in the summer working and training. So again, that's all good. It's all just a starting point though, and it gets us off to a good start.
training camp, and I know it's only been 2 days, but I'm sure you come in with the mindset or marks you want to hit each day. What have you kind of seen executed that you like through the first 2 days that, of course, you'll build on throughout training camp?
Yeah, you want to see guys come out with the right mindset every day. And what I mean by that is, they're preparing in their meetings, right? They're on the details of the practice script, which allows them to play fast, which allows them to play decisively because they're thinking with clarity. They're playing with a clear mind. You want to see that every day, okay? And it gets harder as we go through camp because the volume goes up. That's one thing. You want to see guys play hard. You want to see guys play fast. You want to see guys play on their assignments because we're not in pads right now, so you don't really see the physicality, but you want to see guys playing with detail and assignment sound football. And you want to have great tempo in practice always. You want guys in and out of the huddle. You want guys lining up fast, motioning fast. You want good operation. And those are the standards of every practice, and they're no different in camp. And so it's our job as coaches to hold them to that every day and just keep coaching them on it. So.
Learning the playbook for a rookie, obviously, like you're saying, is challenging. It's going to be more and more. How much extra time does that require of them? I guess just to study, and it's not specialized routes. You want them to know every spot for the most part, still, right?
Definitely, you're training guys to know. Especially think about receiver. Yeah, some guys have a position, but every position moves. Every position runs every route. And so you want guys to be versatile up front on the O-line. You want guys to have versatility. With regards to the playbook, it's not so much that the playbook is huge and there's so much. It's that things add up every day. You master the first day, and then you go out there and the second day, and there's all this new stuff, and there's these new stimuli, and the defense is doing new things. And and that's the challenge. Of okay, I went out there today and I maybe made a few mistakes. Can I put that to bed and come out the next day and try to have a clear mind? Eventually, we're going to go to the move the ball periods where nothing is scripted, so they don't have the ability to, study the script and kind of know what plays they're going to get in practice. I'm calling it, or Kyle's calling it, so they don't know what play's coming. Can you hear the play in the huddle for the first time? Can you line up and know what to do? Those are the challenges that we're going to add to their plate as camp goes on. That's part of football. It's part of learning, and the guys that are up for the challenge, they embrace it and they grow from it and get better every day. So.
Is he the most demanding of the three?
I'm sorry?
Is the Z receiver, the flanker, the most demanding?
I wouldn't say that. You could say the Z probably moves more in our offense because he's off the ball, and that's maybe more common. But as far as demanding, the demands are the same to me for all those guys, and we want them going through all the same stresses and all the same mental and physical stresses. So, yeah.
I know you want to look forward, but just looking back at the way last year ended. You get 2 games against Seattle, 19 offensive possessions, no touchdowns, 3 field goals, I think. Obviously, you did an autopsy on the whole thing. What did you see? What did you learn? Where do you guys go from there?
Thanks for the reminders, man. We were not playing good ball in those games. First of all, you give credit to Seattle. That was an elite defense. Obviously, they're a championship team, and they got the better of us in those 2 games. It's not like we study it and go, oh, we got to do this is the thing that's going to make us now have 10 touchdowns in those 2 games. Like, we have to run the ball better. We have to be better on third down. I go back to that Week 18 game, and we had something like 38 plays in the game. Well, we weren't good on third down. We didn't stay on the field. We had too many second and longs. We're putting ourselves in bad situations. So how do you fix that? You go back to the start. You get better at your scheme. You try to add players in free agency that are going to make you stronger in these areas. And you go to the playoff game and you go, okay, we actually did move the ball better, but we come out and we don't execute a short yardage and we get stopped on 4th and 1. We have a turnover on our second drive. We have a huge third down in the second quarter of that game where we throw the ball low to Ricky and he doesn't come up with it and we end up getting a field goal. I mean, it's going to be a 1-possession game if we make those plays. And, there's so many things that go into it. We have to get better as a football team. We have to worry about us, and, it's not just about beating Seattle. It's about putting our guys in position to be the best they can be so we can have a 17-game season and let the chips fall where they may. So we got to learn from those games. Certainly we got to learn, but we just got to get better as a team and keep going.
Curtis Rourke had a nice long ball to Junior Bergen on Monday. How's he doing, and where is the competition between him and Adrian Martinez at this point?
Curtis is doing great, and first of all, the competition between those guys is going to be all camp, and those guys are they've embraced it, and those guys do a great job of coming out every day and getting their minimal reps they get and getting the most out of them. They've done a good job so far. To me, that's going to emerge through the preseason games. That's when those guys are going to get the most of their reps, is in preseason. They're going to play a lot, and that battle, that competition will kind of play itself out, and the best, whoever plays the best is probably going to end up winning that battle. But as far as Curtis and Adrian go, Curtis is what we thought he was. I mean, as far as the size, the mental strengths he has, and his ability to throw the football. It's been jumping out to us in these first 2 days, and he's got to keep stacking days and getting better. Adrian's a pro. Adrian does things the right way. The ball goes where it needs to go, and Adrian's in the game, and the same thing. Consistency, learning from mistakes, getting better each day, and then the preseason games will dictate a lot of those decisions.
And how hard it's also to know that you have to put that load of work, but you also got to think of all the traveling that you're going to do. I mean, that first game is also thousands of miles away.
Yep.
Was it challenging to prepare it? Because obviously the bulk of work that you want to put, you also want to account for those long.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get too far ahead, of the travel. It's going to be different. It's going to be a challenge, certainly, because it's so unique as far as how far we're going and maybe how long we'll be gone. But I think we got to put the cart before the horse, which is we can't put the cart before the horse. We got to focus on our team right now, getting better. And then as we get closer to week one and that travel, we'll probably have some adjustments to our schedule and how we train. But for now, we're focused on getting better.
I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on Kyle's composure these last couple days. I think it's safe to say it took a lot of guts for him to kind of own up to some of what he talked about yesterday in front of a group of reporters. I just want to hear what your opinions might be on just how he's been handling himself.
I mean, my opinions, Kyle's an outstanding leader, an outstanding mentor. He's a great friend to me. And obviously we're, all just glad he's doing well and recovering and that everything ended up kind of okay from that situation. The thing I feel really strongly kind of going through this with our team is Kyle. It's just a reflection of Kyle's leadership that, he can kind of be absent in certain ways or not as involved in certain ways, but this building and this team can continue to press on and continue to function at a high level. That's because he's enabled people to lead. He's enabled me. He's enabled our whole staff to just take on our jobs and lead in our own way. And just because he might not be here in the same way for now, and as he continues to heal, we're pressing on and we're still handling our business, and our players are handling it the right way. And again, it's all credit to his leadership. It's the standard he set. It's the culture that him and John Lynch have set here. I'm honored to be a part of it. And then as his friend, I'm glad he's getting better and just kind of taking it day by day.
Coaching at all? Is he calling you up and getting updates from you or telling you to do anything?
Kyle's here every day. Kyle's, he's definitely paying attention to what's going on out there, watching film and definitely involved, so it's not like he's absent in that way. So we're definitely communicating on certain things.
So just about kind of to follow up on that, we keep asking, everyone that talks, is Kyle reassuring you guys, but is there any conversation maybe between you and him or other coaches where you guys are reassuring him that everything's handled?
We try to, absolutely, yeah, and I know Fred said when he got up here that we got this, coach, and that's our job, is to reassure Kyle that, we're very confident in the work we're doing. I'm very confident coming in here every day and doing my job and helping lead the offense and helping support our assistant coaches who are doing a phenomenal job, everyone's stepping up and just doing what we normally do, which is do our jobs and do it to a really high standard and take care of our business. And I think Kyle knows that. I think he's very confident that we're all capable of that. And so we can, just keep getting through this and keep pushing one day at a time. So thanks, guys. Have a good one.